This is Road to the Golden Door, where we unpack the proven success formula straight from the minds of Golden Door winners, uncovering the motivation, methods, and the mindset it takes to become an elite performer in door-to-door sales and in life. This is Road to the Golden Door. Now, here's your host, Mikey Lucas.
All right, what's up? Welcome back. Road to the Golden Door. I've got a super special guest, a four-time Golden Door Award winner. He's just coming off of he's just coming off of a double Golden Door Award. Zach Seager over here from Grit Marketing. So Zach, what up, bro? Welcome to the show, man.
Thank you, dude. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, dude, I am super stoked about this because there's something about you. I don't know if it's your energy, your aura, your confidence, something there that our listeners are going to be able to pull out a lot of information that you have. It is not easy to do a Golden Door in Pest, let alone a double Golden Door. And you have consistently done that year after year. And then also you've got guys that are under you that are in your team that are now hitting Golden Door awards. And I'm assuming maybe even a couple of double Golden Doors as well. If not, I know there's other people in the Grit that have double Golden Doors as well. So I'm excited to be able to jam with you today, brother. So for everyone that doesn't know Zach Seager, who is Zach Seager?
Yeah, dude. So from Sandy, Utah, graduated from Brighton High School in 2017. Went and played college soccer in Montana for a year. Loved it. Didn't love like the culture of like partying. I'm Mormon, so came back to Utah. Went on a Mormon mission. After my mission, got recruited by my cousin's husband. I don't know if that'd be like my cousin-in-law. I don't know how you would say that. But he made like, I think 80 grand that summer doing Pest with GreenX. And I was like,
yeah.
Oh dude, that is like, for you to make 80 grand in a summer, that's crazy. So I had like, I think I had $300 to my name after coming home from my mission. So anyways, went out that summer, 2020, sold 400 accounts, made over 100 grand. It was awesome. Next summer, ran a team in Cincy, sold over 1,000. The next summer, ran a team in Jersey. That summer, I did $1 million. Our team did like almost $7 million, our downline. And then this past summer, broke the all-time pest control record and did $1.5 million.
Badass, dude. Love that.
Yeah.
I see that tends to be where did you end up serving your mission at? Where is it locally or was it overseas?
Yeah, so it was in Chile.
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
You speak Spanish?
Poquito.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, that's that learning Spanish, man. That was one thing I wish I would have done and paid attention is how to retain speaking Spanish, because I can't tell you how many times I'm like, when I was knocking on doors that they're like on purpose make it where they're like, no, we don't speak no entiendo, no habla inglés. You're like, oh, so I'll have my Spanish guys come over. Sorry, guys.
So tough.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, dude. So tell me a little bit about your background, how long you've done door-to-door for 4 years now. Were you always with the Grit? Were you always doing Pest? Were you selling like meat or something before?
Yeah, good question. Started with GreenX in 2020. That year was the year GreenX was growing too quick. And so GreenX laid off or let go of the entire sales force. That was the year that Grit Marketing started. I had worked at GreenX. You didn't really work with other regions. It was always your region. So I worked with the High Tide region with Garth Massey. And then they started Grit Marketing, and I was able to work with like Ben Egan, Drew Hansen, Cody Olive, which was a huge game changer.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
no, that's super important. I've seen that a lot. And I even count a lot of my success, if not all of it, to just being around people that show me that it's possible to do bigger things. I think that's one of the most important parts. I've attributed, why I worked at Solar City and making basically like pennies on the dollar. Like we were paid literally Chinese sweatshop pay. Like we got paid $155 a kilowatt to self-gen. And which, if anybody knows that's listening, that's like nothing. Like on a 10 kilowatt system, I would make like $1,800 if I was lucky.
Wow.
Yeah, it was bad. $1,500. It was pretty bad. Which now these guys are, they're touting that they make 5 to 10 grand, but they're really not. And you know that, but
right.
because they're really overcharging people. But anyways, the reason why I stayed at where I was at was because I saw dudes hitting 11, 12 deals a month consistently.
Yep.
And so I long story short, I ended up being in the number one office of the number one company for, I mean, we were like number one, number two, a couple months here and there, but like we were the number one office for a very long time. And average guy was selling 11 deals a month. And for me, it was more important for me to be around guys that were doing 11, 12 deals a month than it was to be around just the base, which was to stay at the company was 6 deals a month. So to double, and not only that, these guys were all married. Most of them were LDS, all married, all had like 3 to 5 kids. And I was like, I was single, right? Not dating at the time, but I was single, had no responsibility, like zero responsibility other than to like clean my own dishes now and do my own laundry. That was pretty much the extent of my responsibilities at the time, but proximity was key. So let's kind of dive into that a little bit. Tell me, did you believe that you could hit a golden door, or rather a double golden door? Like, is that actually, like, bring it back before your first year? Did you know about what a golden door was? Did you know about what these top guys were hitting? Like, did you think that, like, for instance, you said your cousin-in-law made 80 grand. Did you bring me back to Zach, like post mission, just getting off the boat? Like, were you like, I can actually hit that? Or what struggles, in other words, did you have?
Well, first off, I was like broke, like I had $300 to my name. So I had to figure out like something pretty quick. So I got home from my mission, and 3 days later I was driving with my cousin to Texas. But I didn't know anything, dude. Like, I don't think, to my knowledge, like rookies usually don't know what like a golden door is their first year. And they're not worried about it, and they're not concerned about it, because the only thing they care about is like learning the material and just going out and saying the pitch to the people. That's the only thing rookies care about. So yeah, my goal that my first summer did was to make 20 grand and buy a new truck. Like, that was my only goal. And then like I made that within my first month, and I was like, or maybe 2 months, and I was like, oh wow, like I should probably increase the goal, if that makes sense. As far as like, no, dude, as far as like environment goes though, I'm the biggest believer in like, show me your friends, I'll show you your future. Or you're the average of like the 5 people you hang out with. It's like when I'm hanging out with guys like Cody Olive, Drew Hansen, guys that have sold way more than me, dude, I'm going to become way better at selling. And there's just no way you can argue that. It's like if I'm hanging out with guys who are lazy, dude, that's going to rub off onto me no matter how motivated I am. If I'm hanging out with guys who are super wealthy, dude, naturally, if we're going out to dinner, they're going to talk about some sort of investment they've done. And that's going to create a light bulb in my head, and I'm going to go do that investment with them later down the road.
Okay, cool. Why do you think you saw that? I try to write down, as I'm interviewing guys and girls on this show, I try to write down quotes that you live by. And I'm learning a lot from you, right? Because my goal is really to learn on this, not just to, give access to the entire industry of the top people in the industry, but also to learn, because I'm still a student. So tell me, at what point or what, breakthrough moment, mountaintop experience, like where did you learn that? Show me your 5 best friends, I'll show you where you'd be at in 5 years. Or like, where was that? Where did that come up with? Where did that, like, okay, I have to start protecting my time in my network or whatever?
I think from like a very young age, I've like known that. My mom would tell me that all the time. Like, you are who you hang out with, or you are who you surround yourself with, in similar like words, right? And so, but after my first summer, that's when I really saw it. I was like, oh gosh, dude, like these guys, dude, they're working out, they're training all the time, they're reading all these books. Like, I should probably be doing that. And I'm just a very competitive guy. And so when I'm losing by like whatever, 10 deals a day to Drew or to Cody, I'm like, oh my gosh, dude, like, so Drew Hansen was my roommate my rookie year at the very end of the summer for 2 weeks. And so like, dude, I literally, every night we'd come home, drink Blue Powerade together, hang out, eat chicken pot pies, because he wasn't married at that point. Either was I. But yeah, dude, it's like I learned a lot within those 2-3 weeks I was rooming with him. Okay.
It's funny because one of the dudes that I became really good friends with was also Golden Door Award winner, and I hung out with him as much as I could. We roomed in Dallas. We didn't room, but we were literally we were apartments across from each other, and just by proximity, I was able to learn what he was saying, and like we could listen to his calls and stuff like that. And yeah, that's really important. So interesting. So you were roommates with Drew. Oh, dude, you want to know a funny story about roommates like that?
Yeah, let's hear it.
So, bless you, man. At Solar City, God bless you.
Sorry.
At Solar City, we had company housing when we moved. When Vegas shut us down, we had company housing in Dallas. They paid us like $5 or $10 to move out to Dallas, and they had the company housing was apartments, and they had all the furniture, rental furniture in there. For whatever reason, I moved. It was my house, and then my reps were in the house, right? I moved all the furniture, and I made a scooter park in my apartment. And it's funny because the ladies that live below me still follow me on Instagram, and like every once in a while see me on Facebook. And I feel so bad now knowing, because I was not quiet. I had a scooter skate park like route that I would just, anyways, I thought that was pretty funny. I don't know if you've ever noticed that or done that. By the way, do you ride Segways on doors?
Yeah. We do like Segway Olympics, like for team meetings. Like it's
yeah. So we're is there like prizes or something like that too?
Yeah, like it's just for the vibes. Like it's like whatever. If the boys aren't vibing, then we do Segway Olympics or something stupid like that.
Yeah, I feel it.
$100 for the winner, something stupid.
Yeah,
just to get the boys going.
Yeah, just to change it up a little bit. I love that.
Yep.
Cool. So I love that. Is there so your mom and dad are still together?
Yeah,
Still
they're
around?
still together. They're way happy. My dad's retired. He dude, it's actually awesome. My dad like builds Sprinter vans and like sells them, but it's awesome.
Dude, give me a plug. What's the website? Or
He
what's
doesn't
the
have
Instagram?
a plug. Like I shouldn't say builds. Like he's only built one, but like he travels all over in it. He goes surfing, fly fishing all the time. He's awesome.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
It is my wife and I are currently we might be going on a trip this weekend. I was supposed to go fishing this weekend with a couple guys, and there was gonna be a storm in Florida this weekend, so that ended up failing. So I was like, babe, why don't we just go rent a Sprinter van and just like, take the dogs and go for somewhere? I don't know.
Right.
Cool. Okay. So tell me a little bit about your, the married life. How long have you been married for now?
So almost 8 months. Got married in March.
Okay. And then what was that like? A lot of times what people often reach out to Mikey Lucas for is obviously is money, and then spirituality, and then their relationship helps. That, at least on YouTube and social media, those are typically the top views that I get. So, and I get messages about them all the time, people talking all the time. So I like to talk a lot about marriage. High achievers, high entrepreneurs, they're like, the divorce rate is over 80% on first marriages. And I want to be someone that says, hey, like, we need to talk about this. Like, as men, we need to talk about, like, what are we doing wrong here? Right? How are we misstepping? If that's the statistic, like, how do we fix that? I don't think anybody ever signed up for, college and said, I can't wait to get all F's. Yeah.
Right.
And then in marriage, it's like, I can't wait to fall in love and have a terrible divorce. Yeah. Sick. Like, no one does that. So I have not had I don't know about you, Zach, but I believe I was lied to about the first couple years of marriage. For whatever reason, they said, like, it was going to be, and my wife knows, she watches the show. Most of it, I think. I'm glad she doesn't watch all of it, because there's some parts in there that I'm like, I just get vulnerable, right? I'm cool being vulnerable, as long as you're cool being vulnerable. I haven't had the best, first year and a half of marriage, and I think I want really therapy on that, and this is kind of my therapy on it. So, what are some of the things that I guess you and your wife are doing? Which she's beautiful, by the way. I'm looking at your Instagram right now.
Appreciate it.
What are some of those things? You're welcome, of course. What are some of those things? Side note: you always know you have a great salesman when they have a beautiful wife.
Exactly.
What are some of the things that you and your wife either talk about, do to make sure that she is supporting you but also then feel supported, like you're feeling her love languages or whatever, however you want to talk. Again, I don't know how you look at it yet or whatever, but like, how do you go and do what you're doing with grit marketing and hit double golden door, and yet still in the middle of that, you got married? Like, how is that possible? Walk me through that. Like, help me, brother.
Yeah. Um, First off, dude, I think I got way lucky. Like, dude, I don't know anyone who loves more than my wife. Like, she's just a very loving person and encouraging person to all of her friends, to me, to my family. Um, but the other thing is like, dude, you create a vision with your wife and you set like an expectation of like, look, if this is what we want, then this is what we have to sacrifice. And it's a very clear vision. Like, if we want this, then we have to give up this. And then when, like, I would say the biggest time, right, is like almost like investments. If I can invest into her on the off season, go on trips, hang out with her, do dinners, go on dates all the time, then I can pull from that in the summer, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
The other thing is like when you're managing a team and you're selling and there's all other stuff going on, dude, it's just tough to like find time in the summer. And so there's a rule that me and my wife have set that we spend an hour together at night, phones off, airplane mode, and it's me and her. And so, dude, when you're so busy and you give up an hour of your time to your wife at night, it just goes so far because she knows how busy you are, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Not including sex, what are some of the things that you and your wife do to spend that quality time together? And brother,
Yeah.
if you're feeling that a full hour of sex, good for you, brother. God bless you.
I don't know if like, oh, like in the summer is what you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, dinner. Like it's always dinner. And then we actually got a dog in the summer. His name's Trout.
Let's
But
go.
yeah, so he's a black lab. But we'll like take Trout on a
Oh,
walk.
oh.
But usually it's just me and her hanging out, dude. Like dinner and then just hanging out.
Now, a question on that. Are you talking mostly about what she wants to talk about, or are you talking about your day? Are you saying, hey, this is terrible crap going on in the business? Like, what are some of the things that are you trying to stop talking about business and talk with her? Are you allowing her to come into the business? Like, how has that worked out so far?
Good question, dude. I think it's just whatever's natural. I try to never be negative. Like I'm a very optimistic person. Um, and I also like never try to bring like weight home from like work. So like if something like really shitty happened at work, dude, I'm just not gonna. My wife doesn't need to know that. Like she just doesn't need to know that. So
Can we camp there for a second?
yeah,
I think a millionaire mentor of mine, Dan Fleischman, recommended me stop telling my wife all the crap that was going on in my business. And I started doing that this year and realized how much better we were. Now, when we were dating, she, to me, so that she could, one of her things was transparency. So I was like, oh, transparent, cool. Like, here's what's going on in the business. Here's what's going on with this rep and that dealer and this installer, and this is going on over here, and this, lending company, whatever. Here's all the tea. And I thought that would initially help us, but it seemed as if that actually hurt us long term. So I'm in the same boat as you as far as like trying to have a positive mental attitude and not, 90-10, like 90% the solution, 10% the problem. Like I'm a big guy on that. I don't know why people love or are addicted to negative for whatever reason. Like I get it, but I don't get it at the same time.
yeah. It's like the news. Like
Yeah.
I don't like to watch the news, and if I don't have to, like I don't, just because
Yeah.
I know it's just gonna be negative news the entire day. It's like I'd rather just not like indulge in that.
Yeah. Yeah. It's interesting. I really used, one of my coaches got me to stop watching the news about 2 years ago. And I was watching the news pretty much every day for the most part because a lot of it was new information. But then after a while, I started realizing it's the same regurgitated information over and over and over and over and over and over again.
Yep.
Like, so I get why people are addicted to that kind of stuff or get jazzed up about it. So that's really cool. So tell me about your dog. It's Trout. Is it after
Trout,
Mike
dude.
Trout or?
No, I'm a big fly fisherman. Like I fly
Nice.
fish 2-3 times a week when I'm in
No
Utah.
way.
And so Yeah, I mean, he's like a hunting dog and he loves fly fishing, so we just named him Trout.
No way. He likes going with you?
Yeah, he loves it, dude. Like,
Oh,
we got him. So my wife bought him in Utah and then flew him out to Jersey like halfway through the summer. But we took him
puppy?
over. Yeah, puppy, like 6 weeks, like teeny, dude. But there's like an irrigation pond like right by our hotel this summer, and I'd go over there and fly fish on Sundays, and we'd catch tons of bass in it, and he loved it, dude. So I was like, "Hey, we're gonna name him Trout."
Let's
I don't know
go.
why, but yeah, I love him. He's the
That's,
homie.
that's awesome. Yeah, I had two labs. One of them just passed away at 13 or 14 years old. 13 years old, and great dogs, man. Loyal, smart, phenomenal dogs.
Yep.
So you'll have a good life there, man. Good best friend. It's a boy, right?
Yeah, it's a boy.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we're excited.
it's good, man. So tell me more a little bit about like you said casting a vision. You don't got to get super clear. I don't want to like put you on the spot or whatever, but like tell me a little bit about like what are, I guess, some of the big things that you and your wife now are looking forward to, like some of those visions and stuff like that. Like you're saying, like getting your wife on board with stuff like that. What does some of that stuff look like for you guys? Like where is that going to be at in a few years or 5-10 years from now?
Yeah, so she's an esthetician, so like she wants to
Nice.
open her own practice in a year.
Dope. Cool.
Um, what else? It's like we have you've been to Utah, right?
Oh yeah, of course.
Do you know where like Heber is or
Yep.
Midway? Cool.
Mhm.
We love the outdoors. Like we mountain bike, we ski, we fly fish, we hike all the
Nice.
time. So like one of the visions, right, is she loves like modern houses and she loves like designing that stuff. And so one of the visions is she builds like our dream house in Midway. And it looks over the whole Timpanogos. It's got Deer Creek in the background on the Provo River. That's like a vision that we talk about every day, and that's in the back of our heads on every decision we make. And so it's like we're working towards that goal day in and day out.
I love that.
So there's a bunch of other things, but yeah,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
right,
So it's
boats, we want cars, all the stuff,
cool. Why?
kids.
Why?
I don't know. It's a good question, dude. It's like I think you wanted to just have the life you've always wanted to have. Like
Um,
I look at these guys like Dan's buddy, right? Muscle Keaton. It's like, oh, dude, that life would be awesome. Or
yeah.
it's like, dude, I look at my uncle who has property up in Morgan, Utah, and has like fly fishing ponds and doesn't work at all anymore and used to do insurance. And I was like, dude, that's like what I want.
Yeah.
So I don't know, financial freedom would be like the easiest way to answer that question. Why
Sure.
financial freedom? Not having to worry about money, having impact. Like, dude, when you have that much money, you can do whatever you want, whenever you want.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's a common theme in most 20 and 30-year-olds that I've either coached individually or talked with at events or whatnot. We pretty much don't want what our parents had,
Yep.
which was, so
Nine to
our
five.
yeah, and our parents went through the dot-com crash, the 87 real estate
Yep.
fall, and then the '08, crash again. And then, we had a technically a dot-com or an everything crash in 2020. So I think that we are trying to be more proactive.
Yep.
I think the catch that a lot of our generation has is they're worried too much about what it's looking like. And I understand there's certain cases for like recruiting and stuff like that. Like, I mean, I had to explain to my dad why I had two, 6-figure cars. And I'm like, Dad, like, first of all, I have two options. I can give the money to the government or I can buy this Model X. And second of all, this other one is for actual marketing purposes. So I think that we get too caught up in the things rather than the exit strategy or the goal, which would be to have that house and have the things. So like you said, you can have more of an impact. Why do you think, I guess, why do you think some of maybe your guys are not hitting Golden Door, or they're not reaching their fullest potential in their first few years? When you can see what you are able to do, why do you think some of your guys are not hitting that?
Just vision. Like they just don't know what they want. And so that's why in the industry of pest control, I don't know about solar, but there's just so many reps between that 200K and 300K. They just don't know what they want. And they've always done, right? Their first summer they go out, they do 150K. Their second summer they go out, they do 200 to 300K. And then from there, dude, it's like they're just coasting because there's no vision, there's no clarity, there's no vision board, there's no goals, right? And so at that point, you're just out there to make, right? I know so many reps in the industry that are okay with making 100 grand and that's it, which is great. But it's like, dude, the potential is way more.
Yeah, is that like I was just gonna ask you like what because obviously the numbers in solar people completely inflate those, but at somebody selling 300 grand, 200 to 300 grand, what is the industry standard for Pest? And what is someone like going to take home for that roughly?
Oh, if they do like 200K, they're gonna make like anywhere from like 60 to 100K, depending on like cancels.
And that's in summer.
In the summer, yeah. If they do 300K, they're gonna make like 100 to 180, somewhere in there.
That's what's bizarre. I always told solar guys, I'm like, you do realize that the pest, if you were to sell pest control full time, you would make like 3-4 times the amount of like the top solar guys.
Yeah.
I just don't understand why even roofers, like if they were to work full time, chase storms and all that stuff, they would be making so much more. Yeah. Pest control. So why, let me ask you that then. I actually don't know the answer to this. Like in alarm sales, like, yeah, it was just summer strategy. Why is it in pest control you don't work year round?
That's like, dude, so grit marketing, we're now going to be able to do that.
Let's go.
Yeah,
wow.
It's awesome.
Wow, that's going to be crazy, bro. What?
Yeah, so we're doing these new things. I don't know if you've seen on our Instagram, we do like these orientations where we take veterans of the industry out to Texas. They literally shadow me, Drew Hansen, Cody Olive, Brock Grieve, Corbin Hansen. They work with the best in the entire industry. And then they get to sign paperwork after that if they want. It's never like forcing them. It's like, dude, look, you've now seen how we work. Come work with us.
Yep.
And then they can now go out and sell whenever they want. And so we're going to have these blocks where we'll have a spring, summer, fall, winter block where they can go sell in the market that we choose for them, depending on the seasons, right? Like if it's really cold outside, we're not going to send some guy to Seattle. It's like we're going to send him to Texas.
Right. So, Florida, Texas. Yeah.
It'll be awesome. Dude, it's going to change the entire industry.
That's exciting. That's actually really exciting. I'm glad to know that.
So like 30% of our reps are in school and the other 70% aren't in school.
Right.
And so that's why we looked at the data and we're like, dude, why don't we offer this option?
Yeah. And I never really understood that. So I'm glad that you guys are catching on to that. And good. That's really exciting. I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah, we're stoked. Yeah.
Cause like when you're in like, okay, so let me ask you this thing. Cause I knocked virtually 10 years, 6 days a week, full time, nonstop. So when it comes to, with you guys, it's different. It's a different story because you're in and then you're out. And I understand that. But when it comes to like alarm guys or solar guys, for whatever reason, I don't understand them and they don't understand me because like, how could you not knock full year round because everyone's buying power year round. But when it comes to like, how do I say this? So yeah, now that you guys are going to sell full year round, what do you think give me some insights. Like, what do you think is going to happen now? Like, I guess let me back it up. Cause the real question is it possible to do the blitz model? Like, cause right now, like, dude, my hat's off to you guys. Like there is no possible way I do a summer sales all the time. Like there is no way. I know a couple guys that do it. And some of them are guys that I've trained up or guys that I coach or guys that I know very, very well. Daniel Hadobas is one of them. I mean, literally all year round, nonstop, minus whatever his company events are. And that dude is absolutely crushing it all day. But he's a different breed. I brought him into the industry. He's a different breed. Is it possible, Zach, to do what you're doing in a summer and continue to do that, extend it through, 10 months, 11 months, 12 months?
Yeah, because the way we have it formatted is it will be blocks, meaning you'll sprint, right, for whatever, 2 months, 3 months, and then the block will end and you'll have a month break or 2 month break, and then you'll go back out. But but we don't want guys just going out and like hanging out, like knocking 2-3 hours a day. It's like, if you're going to be out there, dude, you got to be out there.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, because even for us, like, okay, so I was full time, but I would definitely take off 2 weeks. Not every year. When I owned my own company, there was basically 2 days off, maybe 3 days if I'm lucky around Christmas, maybe 1 or 2 days around Thanksgiving. I mean, it was work consistently all day long trying to sell and run a company.
Right.
But yeah, it's definitely, I think it is possible, and a lot of guys, they end up in solar, at least that I know of, solar and like roofing, these guys end up taking off basically the month of November and December for the most part, which honestly is not good for them because they're not doing it on purpose. They're doing it like they're not very strategic about it. Like they don't have a real plan about it. But I'm really excited to see, and I want to like talk to you in a next year on this time too, to try to figure out like, hey, like how is that working and what are you guys doing? Where are you guys failing at? And I'm intrigued. I want to know more about it. So that'll be a really cool experiment to see if that's possible. I think it is. Especially if you can take a month off or 2 months off. It's kind of, dude, I'm jazzed up about that. I'm actually really excited to see that.
Yeah, we're stoked. Well, I mean, dude, we'll have some guys knock 8-9 months of the year if they want.
Yeah.
So I think right this year we have 36 golden doors. I don't see a world where next year we don't have 50 with us, like rolling out this new program and schedule and all the things.
Yeah, there's no rule. You can't, it's not golden door has to be hit in 3.5 months.
Right.
It's golden door in a year.
In the calendar year. Other. Yep.
Yeah, that's awesome. Cool. Awesome. Sweet. Let's transition really quickly. Bring me back to your, so this year you literally just got off of a double golden door. What changed? Tell me some stats, from the previous year to this year. And what do you think changed? I know we were talking a little bit off mic, a little bit about it, but kind of walk me through like, hey, last year I hit this year I hit this, and here's kind of what changed about it. What do you think Zach did differently?
Yeah. Last year, last year I sold $1 million in rev. That's what was like talked about around the office, was like, dude, if you do $1 million, you're a badass. Like that was just like the new standard. Yeah. Nobody had ever done $1 million except Drew. And so it was like, oh, I wonder if that's possible. Like, is Drew just a freak of nature, or is that like actually possible? But the difference, right? Last year was my first year managing. I had like 27 guys out. Had no idea how to manage. It was just everybody's first year managing, I think, is really tough. The next year, though, the biggest difference, dude, I would say is, one, I had experience of like managing, but two, dude, it was just time. Like when you've had 10 days or 20, 30 days or whatever, 20, let's say you have 20, 15 days, like, dude, it just stacks. And that like becomes the new like standard, where like I tell my reps, if their biggest week was 40K, they better be able to go out and sell 40K every week. Because if you've done it once, you can do it again. Yeah. And so like, I would just say like the experience built upon itself. And people laugh at me now, but it's like, dude, I literally tell myself when I'm knocking, like, nobody's better than me. I've perfected it, and I've done 10,000 hours. So the 10,000 hour rule of like perfection is like literally engraved in my brain. And so I'm so confident that I can go sell 20K wherever, which 20K, if you sell that in a day, you're making 15 grand plus. It's a lot. So I'm so confident in that because I've done it so many times. Yeah. If that makes sense.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Malcolm Gladwell, the book Outliers, I believe, is where the 10,000 hour rule came from. He could have got it from somebody else, but that was the first time I read that. Tell me a little bit about the 10,000 hour rule. What is in your understanding, your experience? What does that mean? So for anybody that doesn't know what the 10,000 hour rule means, because I'm sure people don't know what that means. Everybody doesn't know what that means, but I mean, like, I've talked about it. People are like, what's that?
Yeah. Just 10,000 hours. After you've done something for 10,000 hours, you've perfected it. And so there's no way I've knocked 10,000 hours. There's just no way. But in my head, dude, I've like told myself, like, dude, you've knocked 10,000 hours. You have perfected this whole door-to-door thing. Mm-hmm. Like, nobody is better at door-to-door pest control sales than you, Zach. And I'm telling myself this while I'm knocking, and I'm manifesting it, I think, while I'm knocking. And so at the end of the day, I'm like, oh, wow, like, it was a good day. But like, I had already told myself, like, wow, I'm damn good at this, if that makes sense.
Yeah, of course. Okay. So let me bring it down really quick
Sure.
to the guys and the ladies that are not hitting Golden Door.
Yeah.
Why do you think that it is important for you to, whether that be positive affirmations, prophesying, attracting it to yourself? Why do you think it's important to be your biggest cheerleader, Zach? And why do you think is that one of the reasons why people are not? Let's say they are, positive affirmations, really, happy go lucky about themselves, and they're not there yet. Like, is that a huge? Should they stop being that if they're not hitting Golden Door, if they're not hitting their greatest potential? Like,
No, they should totally keep doing it. Like, dude,
it's not Fugazi Fugazi.
no. Like, the law of attraction and manifesting is so powerful and real. And it's like, dude, if you're being negative to yourself, there's just no way you hit a golden door. Like, if you're like, dude, I suck. This neighborhood sucks. I freaking hate my company. They don't support me. Nobody on my team likes me. I would literally bet hundreds of thousands of dollars that that guy is not going to hit the golden door. But the guys who are, dude, even if you're telling yourself, I'm great, but you suck and you sell two a day, dude, you're going to become way better over time. And so to my guys, right, like I always have them. This is a pro tip I always do. I make like a voice recording and I like have a song behind it every summer I do it. And I write out like my goals on like a piece of paper and then I read them and they're accomplished already. And so this might be like 6, 7 months ahead of me. But in this song that I listen to, so I listen to it right when I wake up. I'll listen to it like 3 times during the day. It's like a 2 minute song that I've made. And then I listen to it right before I go to bed. What happens though, dude, because I've told myself this, I do everything in the recording over and over and over. And so, like, right, one of the goals, one of the things I said my first summer was Sam Taggart awarded me with a Golden Door Award at Door to Door Con. Boom. I'm visioning myself on the stage, right? Another thing was like, I won the green jacket from Grit Marketing, and that was like selling over 700K that year. Another thing was like, I won the car payments from Grit Marketing and won a free Raptor. Boom. That like happened, right? And so like I'm telling myself all of these things, like I've already done it, if that makes sense, in these recordings that I do.
I love that. I actually do the same thing,
Cool.
and I've actually got a lot of my guys to do it. It's very kind of awkward.
It's weird,
But
bro.
it is weird. It's weird, but it's funny. There was that old video I did on my social media that was my videographer was filming me listening to it, and I'm like jamming with it because I can repeat it.
Yeah.
After a while, you can listen to it long enough, you can repeat it. But I'm like jamming with like, yes, I'm the best. Yes, I'm the best. Who's
Yep.
the best? I'm the best. Yes. And I do stuff like that, like in little enchantments and stuff like that too. So, who did you learn that from, and why? Who did you learn that from?
Dude, I think his name's Charlie. He is a Nike athlete. He was
Yeah.
super. I don't know if you know who he is. He's pretty chunky, honestly. And then he set out a goal to run a marathon, and he like recorded himself saying, "I ran a marathon. I didn't stop once. I became a Nike sponsored athlete after running my marathon." And then he published it, and before he like had actually done it, and so he got a lot of hate for it. But then he did it because he was listening to it over and over and over.
There it is, right here. This one.
Charlie, wait, hold it more right. Yeah, that guy. That guy. Yep.
Yeah, I was FaceTiming the other day.
Oh, you know him?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
That's crazy, dude.
Yeah, we support we partner up a lot on his charity stuff. So
Cool.
I just love what that kid's doing, man. Just
He's
so
awesome,
compelling.
dude.
Yeah.
I love that guy.
Yeah. I met him back, I think in 2018 at a Cole Hatter event. The dude is it's compelling. I mean, first of all, he's like, what he's accomplished is crazy. But yeah, no, I agree. His Nike commercial video was pretty cool too.
Yeah, that's where I learned it from. So
Yeah.
I think I saw a TikTok of him like explaining it as well, and that's where I was like, oh, okay, I could probably try that and see if it works.
Yep.
So
Yeah, he's a little like seems like he's a little weird about it, but you're like, wait a second. this kid's actually done it. So
Yep.
maybe I should try it too, you know?
Yep. Exactly.
Yeah. Awesome. Cool. Charlie Rocket.
Charlie Rocket. What a good guy.
Yeah, he's a great dude. Really cool dude, man. Anything he touches turns into gold, man. Good, awesome
Crazy.
person. So, okay, so you did 1.5 million this year. Did who else? Was there other people in the grip that did 1.5 or more?
No. There was Brock Grief who sold 1.3, which is double. And then Corbin Hansen, Drew's little brother, who's 18, did 1.3 as well, which is crazy. Yeah.
Did Drew do a lot of selling this year too, or did he mostly do?
Drew was managing, so his downline did almost 30 mil this year, and so he was just
Golly.
yeah, he was running all over the place managing.
Good for him.
Yeah.
Yeah. At a certain point, you obviously transition out, which is funny because I think a lot of times guys that transition out lose it, but the guys like Drew, there's no chance that he'll lose it. No.
So Memorial Day, dude, he came out and knocked with me, and
he ripped.
Dude, he sold 33K in one day. Like literally in the neighborhood right by me. Like crazy. Like in that one day he made over 20 grand, which is just crazy.
That's insane.
Like 33K, dude, that's the most anyone's ever sold in a day, ever. And he did it, like that was his first day knocking this summer. And he did it his very first day. Just crazy.
You know, sometimes they got to let the beast out of the cage every once in a while. And it's funny,
Right.
as I was running my own companies, that was most guys in solar, at least, they want to get off doors. And I'm hardcore against that. The only way that I can stay sharp was at the time to stay sharp was to stay on doors. I did door-to-door sales. I only one time in it, that was in 2015 when I got into Dallas, did I ever like buy leads. But like you have to stay sharp. You have to stay in the home and on doors. And a lot of times I would kind of get like little pushback from my team when I was building the company and making sure that they were getting paid and getting their jobs installed and all that. And they kind of were like checking me like as if I didn't still have it. And that quite often I'd have to go out and be like, okay, guys, cool, sweet. Saturday, see you guys on doors, 9 a.m. Boom.
Yep.
3-4 deals in a day, 3-4 solar deals in a day, which is important.
It's a lot, dude.
Yeah, it's a lot. Especially with my close, I typically do like a 2.5 hour, 3 hour close. So, yeah, pretty awesome. Glad that he did well. And his little brother is just an absolute animal.
So good, dude.
Is an animal. So sweet, dude. So you've did the, I don't know anybody that's hit $1.5 million.
Yeah, neither do I. Okay. Yeah.
Awesome. Cool. Let me, so we kind of went through your mindset. What I want to try to get to is like what formula you're doing in routines and habits that you're using while you're in season. So it's kind of like a baseball player, that when they get into it's World Series right now. So when the baseball player, they get into the box, they have the exact same routine pretty much. I'm not sure. We typically are creatures of habit. I'm not saying you have to have a morning or nighttime routine. I'm actually a bigger guy on nighttime routines than I am morning routines, even though I do have both structured. But walk me through like if there is a structure that you use or things that, off the top of your head, whatever it looks like, what are some of the things that you do while you're in season? And then I would like to know how you get out of that too. Like when you're off season, also like, you can't, like kind of participate like that with your wife. Like how do you calm down? Cause to go from a million now to $1.5 million and then back to a husband, like how in the hell, like how does that work? Like Zach, give me the insights on that, bro.
Yeah. So morning routine in the summer, wake up, usually around like, so our morning meetings are at 10 a.m. We run like the alarm schedule. So 10 to 11 and then 11 to 12 we meet. For like my team, I go out to the office at 9 a.m. and I have like a Google Calendar where reps can come in and role play and listen to recordings until 10. But anyways, so I get to the office at 9. Usually like I like to get there by like 8:45 just so I have time to fix anything, talk with the branch manager. So I usually, dude, to be honest, like I wake up at 8, I literally eat breakfast and I go out the door. Like I don't really have a morning routine in the summer because sleep for me, dude, in the summer is just so important. Anyways, so I go to the office. Then I'm on the doors by 12:30, and I knock till dark, 9:30, 10 if I can. Then I'm coming home. When I get home, the very first thing I do is text in my Teams group chat, and I say, "Hey, I'm off my phone for the next hour. If you need anything, contact the my other manager, Jet Johnson was his name." Then it's my wife's time. Me and her, we spend the whole time together, that 1 hour, and then at 11, I grab my phone and I'm back to manager Zach, if that makes sense.
Sure.
So
yeah, I think a lot of guys they overhype the morning routine because they think these millionaires, you got to have a morning routine. I'm like, actually, I don't have a morning routine. I mean, technically, you do the same thing. It's like you do probably most of the same thing. Wake up, cook this meal, eat this thing, and then head out of the house. Scram everything together and head out of the house. It's technically a routine,
right?
But it's not like a lot of guys. I think they overhype or they over focus or whatever on. You have to do all these things. And if I don't do those things, then I'm going to have a bad day. So that's why I said I'm not doing it. I'm not doing a morning routine. Now, again, that's up to you, the listener. If you're listening to this, do whatever works for you. Find out what works for you. But if it's not working for you because you didn't do your damn freaking morning routine and you're realizing that you're having bad days because you're pissed off because you can't do it, it throws a whole damn day out. Like you can't do in door-to-door, you can't do that. In business, you can't do that. In marriage, you can't do that. So that's really cool.
Then when I come home, it's way different. I wake up at 6 when I'm back in Utah. And then
AM?
6 a.m.
Sorry, I was like, wait.
You're good.
6 a.m. Okay.
Anyways,
6 p.m.
No. Then I go to the gym. I go to the gym with my wife every morning. She works out of the gym. I do a different workout. We're not working out together.
Sure.
And then we drive back together. We always make breakfast together. That's awesome. One of the best parts of my morning. And then I do the dishes while she's making breakfast. Then we go to work. I usually get to work by 9, and then I'm working till whatever, usually 6, 7, 8, depending on the day. So then I come home.
That's an off season?
Yeah, off season day.
Okay.
Come home, spend time with her, usually go on dates as much as we can, stuff like that.
Yeah. I see you travel a lot. Is that something that are you able to work remote when you're in off season as well, or is it a lot of it in person?
A lot of it can be over the phone like this, Zoom calls. So I travel. Yeah, we travel a ton.
I see that.
For our honeymoon, we went to Bora Bora. We go to Hawaii all the time. We love going to Island Park and going snowmobiling, fly fishing, mountain biking up there. So we try to get out as much as we can. I think, dude, I got home September 4th. I think I got home then, and dude, I've been in Utah one weekend. Every weekend we've been trying to do something, so it makes it fun.
That's badass.
Yeah.
Okay, so one of the things that my wife and I are kind of our structure with our marriage is one of them, right, is we live from vacation to vacation. So like you were saying earlier, how you deposit with your wife in the off season so that you can kind of withdraw from that from the summertime. Hey babe, I need to I need to instantly travel here, or I need to stay a little bit longer here or whatever.
Right.
One of the things with my wife is like I said, we when wherever we're on vacation, we pretty much already have planned the next vacation, if not the next 2 or 3. So is that something that you guys are as you guys are doing, you're hanging out, talking, walking the dog, all that stuff? Is that something that you guys, I see that you travel a lot, which is awesome. Is that something you guys talk about as well?
We vision and we dream about certain vacations, but we're more of just hey, let's go to Lake Powell this weekend. Or halfway through the week, it's hey, Friday night, let's go to Lake Powell and be there till Sunday and come back. So that's kind of how we work. It's not super structured. It's just, hey, let's do this.
Sure. How was your honeymoon in Bora Bora?
Awesome, dude. That place is so crazy. Those huts on the water, the food was incredible. The fruit over there is so good.
The fruit, bro. Come on. You haven't ever been overseas.
Yeah, we went swimming with sharks. We went fly fishing on a private boat. It was awesome. So
worth it?
Totally, dude. For anyone who's thinking about it, I recommend it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't been down there, but obviously I've seen all the YouTube videos of the huts on the. Is it cool?
Right.
Is it nice in there? Is there air conditioning and all that, or what is it like?
Oh yeah, dude. There's glass floors, air conditioning. It's like they put these special reefs underneath the huts, so like sharks
Come
will come
on.
over and manta rays.
No.
There's like
No.
lights underneath the hut at night, so it attracts the fish.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, but yeah, dude, there's like a little balcony. You can jump off into the water. There's like a swimming deck. There's a ladder to get up. It's so cool.
Wow.
Yeah.
What does it cost to like what does it cost a night? Is it outrageous? Because it's obviously overplayed. Like everyone knows about it, like on the internet. But like, is it
Right.
super expensive to
I mean,
like
define
a night?
expensive was like for me it was like almost 11 grand for the whole thing.
Yeah, but you did a lot.
We did a lot and we were there for a week.
Yeah.
It's pretty expensive, honestly. Like
What,
11 grand
do
for
you
a
ever?
week.
Yeah, that's up there. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
we spent something similar to that too, and we were in Portugal on our honeymoon. But do you remember what it was about a night? Is it like I'm thinking like is it like Bellagio penthouse,
I
10
don't
grand a
remember,
night?
dude. No, right? Because the whole trip was 11 grand. So
Yeah,
I bet it was like 1,300 bucks, somewhere in there, 1,400.
that's not bad to have a glass, where you could see, below
Yeah,
the dirt.
pretty cool, dude. Yeah, the for the grit, dude. If you sold over 800 accounts, we pay for you to go to Bora Bora. So that's been cool, like watching guys go over
That's
there.
like literally life changing to
Yeah,
travel the world like that. Like
yeah,
that's pretty awesome.
yeah.
Interesting. Let me transition back here. Zach, what do you think like your biggest struggles are this year hitting $1.5 million? Like what were your biggest struggles?
Um, Permitting was like so. Aptive's been like I don't know if you heard they got kicked out of Pennsylvania, and then Aptive got kicked out of Delaware this year, and they're getting sued. Not like nothing crazy, but they're in a lawsuit right now, and so in Pennsylvania for soliciting without permits. Like that's it. But anyways, those East Coast like towns and cities, they all talk together. And so the biggest struggle was like just kids getting copped out constantly. They don't give tickets on the East Coast, they give like summons. And so it's like you got to go to court. It was just like wasn't ideal. That was probably the toughest thing this year.
Great market, but
Yeah,
they want you to play their game, it sounds like.
exactly.
Interesting.
Yeah. Just more enforcements, I would say, over there than on the West Coast. Like Utah, dude, you could do anything here. Whereas on the East Coast, it's like you need a permit for this, you need a permit for that, you need a permit for this. So
It's like Spirit Airlines. You need a permit to breathe.
honestly, dude,
That's funny. Cool. Let me try to land the plane here. What do you think your biggest motivation is?
my wife, like creating the life we want to live. That's my biggest motivation.
What do you think's holding you back from actually getting that? Is there anything holding you back?
No, like we're crushing, dude. We're doing everything we need to do. So
Where do you think it could go wrong if you didn't do certain things?
habits. I think like if you got lazy with certain things,
Hmm.
if you got lazy with not going on dates, if you got lazy with not working the hours you should work, if you got lazy or complacent with where you're at, that's where you could get in trouble.
Yeah. Yeah, I think being calibrated is important. It's important,
Yeah.
especially with your marriage, dude.
Yep.
What do you think your end goal is? Like, where do you exit? When do you stop working? Or when do like what? Yeah. Give me a couple versions of like what your end goal is, whether that's in 5 years from now, 2 years from now. Like, what is Zach's end goal?
I'll never stop working with guys I work with right now. Like there's no world where I don't do work with John Taylor in 15 years. There just isn't a world. So whether that's like grit marketing or if that's investing, that's what it will look like. But yeah,
Love John.
I love John, dude. I'll be here for a while. Like the next we have plans to make this like $1 billion company. So it won't even be door to door, it'll be everything. So I have plans to be here for the next 20, 30 years. This is my baby, dude. This is like I'll be here forever.
Yeah. Yeah. You're definitely bought in. That's good. That's important.
Yeah.
That's John has done such a good job, and team has done such a good job at getting guys. And I envy that in a good way. If you don't create buy-in within your team, it's just like, I'm going to go start my own company. It's like, for what, dude? Like, why? Like,
Yep.
what? In solar, it's so, and I'm sure it's in pest too, but it's just so like, I don't understand that kind of mentality because it never works. Like how many guys try to break off and go do their own thing. And like, you do realize that if you were just sort of sit where you're at and just work and stop damn complaining and realize that the grass is not actually green on the other side, that you would actually be making a lot more money. It's happened so often, which is one of the reasons why when I got out of door to door, I transitioned into financial coaching, right? Like wealth management, because guys, they just lose it all. They lose it all in the name of like trying to go make an extra $1 an hour. You're like, bro, what is wrong with you? If you just sat down and realized that these, I don't know. That's a whole different topic in and of itself. That really frustrates me that we could have we could have like the Andy Frisella style. Like the entrepreneurs in door to door could be changing the direction of the 20 and 30-year-olds if these guys weren't so damn self-centered and realized that teaming up with good guys and girls that you wanted to be around, that you guys could go so much further together and faster. It's discouraging. Honestly, it's like discouraging to see guys. We call them jumpers.
Yeah.
It's discouraging. It's like, dude, like, what?
Sucks, dude. When like really good reps leave to get a higher commission or leave to get a sign-on bonus, and then it sucks. Like for me, dude, watching that, because it just happens over and over and over. Or they don't do as well because they're not surrounded with like the elite culture and the environment. And just like you said, dude, it's like when you have reps crushing it, and then they leave and go try to start their own thing. Usually, dude, it doesn't end up working out because they're not surrounded with the guys they used to be surrounded with. Yeah. You're changing your environment. So.
Yeah, I mean, there is times where it makes sense.
Totally.
Larry Fink left Blackstone to create BlackRock and is like 10 times bigger than Blackstone ever was. Like, okay, but it's so rare that actually can happen. And I feel bad a lot of times because a lot of the door-to-door guys are broke because of it. And it's discouraging.
It sucks.
It does. Well, cool, man. Let me ask this last question, then we'll get moving here. But what are, I guess you said in the beginning before we started recording this, you said you have to learn to fail. This was a really good conversation. I appreciate you, by the way, but you said you had to learn to fail. Can you explain what that means?
Yeah, dude, like you just learn so much from your failures. And so if you can learn how to fail and you fail fast and you do it over and over and over and over, dude, you're going to become really damn good at failing. Like that is my goal in life, is to get really, really good at failing. Because if I like am failing enough, dude, at the end of that, there's a rainbow for me. Like there is the gold at the end of that, if that makes sense.
Yeah. How has that, like, did you want to give up in your first couple of years? I mean, like after you hit golden door number 1, like, were you like, what was that like? Did you think you were going to not hit it again, or?
No, like it's the swagger and confidence, right? Confidence is what sells. And so it's like, dude, I know every day if I go out and work the hours, I'm going to sell 10 no matter what. But as far as that goes, like failing, like, I mean, like, dude, maybe I failed in a neighborhood that has huge houses. Cool. What did I learn from that? Dude, maybe I failed in an area that was really cookie cutter homes. Cool. What did I learn from that? Dude, maybe I failed in my marriage because we got in a fight. Cool. What did I learn from that? Every fight I get with my wife, dude, it's like I take something away from that. It's like a lot of guys might get in fights or lose or get discouraged, but it's like, dude, there's always something you can take away at the end of the loss, if you want to say it that way, or the failure.
Sure.
So.
Yeah, I talk about it with my team, and we have failure Fridays where I'm encourage them to say, hey,
cool.
Look, this is where we failed at. And then we determine, it's off the book called Traction, but we determine whether or not we had a failure week or a successful week. My coach is like, yo, don't do that. Like, it's not a failure. It's you turn it into like a learning opportunity. And I go, I do, but I want them to not be afraid to fail, because if they're not failing, Elon Musk says they're not innovating enough. So I want them to be comfortable. I create an environment where they're okay with failing. And it's in door to door, especially. I mean, this is not what I do is not door to door, but anymore, but in door to door, I think that is one of the most important attributes of being okay with not hitting your best day, not hitting your best month, and sometimes not hitting a golden door. But to me, like if you don't hit a golden door in Pest and you cut out early on the summer, like you should wait another couple of weeks. I mean, am I right?
Totally.
Like if you don't hit it by like a little bit and you cut it out, like why would you not just continue to go, right?
I don't know why you would stop.
Yeah.
Like, did we have? What is it? November? Is it It's Halloween. Did we have guys still knocking from April trying to hit a golden door?
Good. Good.
Because they told themselves, right? Like, dude, I'm going to hit a golden door this year, and Sam Targer will give me a golden door award. Dude, we still have guys knocking. It's November almost. Like, that's crazy, dude. That doesn't happen unless you have like the culture to drive that. That just doesn't happen, right? And just like you said, dude, you've created a culture where it's okay to fail. Dude, same with that grip. Dude, we've created a culture where, dude, if you're not at golden door by August 10th, it's okay. Like, it's totally fine. Dude, you stay out until you've hit your goal. Like, you do not come home until the job is done, if that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. All right, dude. This has been fun. I really appreciate it. Any final words for the other Golden Door Award winners out there?
For the winners, dude, enjoy it. Like, winning your first Golden Door Award is something I'll never forget. So enjoy it and be grateful. Not very many people will feel that feeling.
Yeah. Zach, where can we find you? A lot of I can't, dude, it's been awesome with the podcast. A lot of people come up to me that I never knew, and they're like, bro, I love your podcast. It's great. And I'm like, good. Like, are you following these guys? Like, you should be, their biggest fans. Like, comment, view all their stories. Like, they're doing it consistently. I'm not doing it anymore. Follow them. Where can we find you at? Where can everyone follow you and support you? And where can we do that at?
Oh yeah, just Instagram. It's just Zach Seager. No space, no dot, no nothing. Just ZachSeager. So
awesome.
Follow me there, dude.
Perfect. Yeah, I know you put a lot of really good content out. So appreciate it, man. Thank you so much. God bless you. Looking forward to seeing you in a couple months. I'm assuming you'll be there this year, right?
Yeah, I'll be there, dude.
Okay. Perfect.
That's right.
All right, bro.
All right, dude.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Yep. Peace.